Assalamu alaikum and dear students of class 6th. So dear students, we studied the lesson plants around us. We studied so many types of plants in it. Today I will try to summarize all the things in brief that we discussed in the lesson. So dear students, previously we studied the different types of herbs, shrubs and trees. That herbs are the small plants whose stem is soft. Shrubs are those plants whose stem is woody but are small in size, and the branches arises from the base of the stem. And trees are those plants which are very big and whose where the branches arises at the top of stem. So this is the main difference between herbs, shrubs and trees. Then after we discussed the creepers and climbers, we discussed their uh, examples. Then after we discussed the stem of the plant, stem, then function of the stem, that is the stem conducts. It acts as a dual root system, that is it carries food from leaves to roots and carries water from roots to leaves. So it acts as a carrier, it acts as a lifter, transporter. Then after we studied the leaf, which is called as the food factory. The leaf, as you know, has the petiole, the lamina, the midrib and the small veins. This leaf, as you know, is meant for the process of photosynthesis, that is to perform the function of food, and for the gaseous exchange, the oxygen enters, comes out of the leaf. The carbon dioxide enters into the leaf through this leaf. So leaf is called as the food factory. Then after we discussed the leaf venation, there are two types of venations. One is called as reticulate venation and parallel venation. And reticulate venation is this type of venation in which these ribs, these veins are attached to the midrib. What are here these veins are parallel to one another. So then after we discuss the parts of the function of the leaf, that is besides the photosynthesis, it also uh, do the process of transpiration, that is loss of water from the trees through the process of evaporation. And this transpiration is also the main cause for the water cycle on the surface of earth. So the students, then after we study this information of the cactus plant, that is the cactus plant has reduced leaves as there is a shortage of water in the desert plants. Then after we discussed the root, types of root and functions of root. In the root system, we discussed the function of root is that the roots conduct water and minerals from the soil to different parts of the plant. Besides it, some plant, the roots may store starch, and that food and that root is used as a food in some of the plants. Then after we discussed the root system, one is the taproot system, another is the fibrous root system. So taproot system, as you know, is that root which is connected to main stem, and these small roots arises out of it. And here what happens, the small leaves come from the base of the stem, that is called as fibrous root. And then after we discussed the parts of the flower in the previous video. As you know, the flower has four parts. One first part of the green colored leaf, that is called as sepals, and these petals, sepals give support to the flower. These petals, they give fragrance, and they are meant for this pollination, because the insects sit on the flower for nectar to get the food That is why these petals are meant for. And besides the sepals and petals, there are two more parts which we call as reproductive parts of the flower. One is called as pistil, another is called as stamen. Stamen is the male part of the flower containing filamenta and anther, and pistil is the female part of the flower containing stigma, ovary, and style. And in the ovary there are small ovules which we call as the female sex cells, and when the pollen grains reach to these ovules, fertilization occurs, and which results in the formation of the seed. So we can see the seed is not formed unless and until the flower the fertilization occurs. So similarly, dear students, in the flowering plant, in some of the flowers we have only one sex, that is either there is pistil or there is stamen. In some of the cases, some flowers have both pistil and stamen. Such flowers are called as bisexual flowers, which contain both these parts. And in some of the flowers there is either the pistil or the stamen. If it contains a pistil, that it called is a female flower. If it contains only a stamen, that is a male flower. So dear students, this is the brief of the plants. So from tomorrow we will discuss the questions of this lesson. So dear students, stick